Hello everybody, my name is Charlie and you're watching X2. So many of you might have heard the sad news that EA is no longer supporting Star Wars Battlefront 2 and have finally released the final update to the game. Now whilst many might say this is a reason to slowly fall off the game, we think differently. We reached out to many of you who are playing the game right now, and with all of your help, here's our top 5 reasons why you should keep playing Battlefield 2. But before we get into that list, guys, our question of the day is, what is your favourite game mode in Battlefront 2 and why? Let us know your responses in the comments down below. We read all of them and try to respond to some of you guys too. And if you haven't realised already, guys, over 43% of you that watch our videos haven't subscribed. So if you enjoy all things like Star Wars, Empire War, and even just us goofing around with a game like Sea of Thieves or the Old Republic MMO, definitely hit that subscribe button. It goes a really long way to supporting us. But with the introductions out of the way, let's get right into the video. And fifth on our list is game modes. This obviously had to make the list as Battlefront 2 is anything short of features and game modes. From the arcade modes, Galactic Assault, to Heroes and Villains, Ewok Hunt and Starfighter Assault. There is plenty of replayability and opportunities to earn credits. Heroes and Villains is a game mode that you honestly wouldn't find in other shooters and game modes, and it also allows you to learn the ropes when it comes to controls, gameplay and heroes, saving you the stress of saving up those 4,000 points in Supremacy and Galactic, playing Yoda only then to die and get decimated because you're not aware of his abilities and control schemes. So there, Hero and Villains is a perfect game mode to train for when the opportunity comes. Capital Supremacy is also an incredibly popular game mode added post-launch. Originally locked to the Clone Wars and in other eras added at a later date, it adds another main multiplayer game mode alongside Galactic, set with 40 players in one map and involves a strong tug of war that involves capturing control points in order to achieve victory. And honestly, the maps here are stunning, being able to see capital ships above you in the skybox, showing off just how beautiful that Venator Star Destroyer really is. As mentioned before, co-op is a much more relaxed horde mode style game that allows 4 of your friends to jump in and play, allowing you to play as the Galactic Republic, Resistance, Separatist Alliance, or First Order, and basically just do wave after wave of horde mode, almost as if you're training before going into a multiplayer mode and taking on the real hardcore players. Starfighter Assault is also quite an interesting unique game mode that isn't really available elsewhere. I haven't seen this type of dogfighting in space gameplay for Star Wars since the Star Wars Episode 3 game for the DS, and let's be honest, that 3D dogfighting mode was 10 times better than the game itself. And beyond the game modes, it's the matchmaking itself. It's less stressful than you may think, with the active player base of the game makes wait times feel not too obstructive, especially with the ability to jump in to your friends' games. Coming in at number 4 is the modding community. And if the game modes are seriously not enough, then there is a plethora of mods for the game. There are mods out there that allow you to play as Purge Troopers, Darth Revan, and even Lego Yoda. Yes, I said that correctly, and honestly, I'm not sure if I want this to be real or not. Yoda's lifeless eyes and not for the faint-hearted. And it doesn't stop there. Aside from the model asset changes, there are core file changes that allow split-screen gameplay with friends, removing AI in offline modes to explore all the beautifully crafted maps, to increase difficulty in arcade modes that disable health regen, add friendly fire, and more. But if the model changes and gameplay changes aren't your thing, then check this out. Massive ambient and graphic facelifts to an already stunning looking game, if your computer can handle it, of course. Number 3 is graphics. Now it's quite easy to say that to this day, after 3 years of its release, Battlefront 2 looks absolutely stunning. Let's not forget people's first reactions to when this game was announced. The graphical fidelity is absolutely a tier above its older brother, Battlefront 1. And if you don't believe me, see it for yourself. For a game that released in 2007, it still seriously holds up today with current releases. A prime example of this is when you take a direct comparison of Jedi Fallen Order, a game that came out 2 years later, and compare it to Battlefront 2. And we expect these visuals to still stand their ground for at least another 2 years. For number 2, it's game updates. Battlefront 2 has had an incredible redemption story. On release, reception was less than ideal. Many people felt there was a lot of promises that were either skimped out on or locked behind pay-to-win schemes, much like typical EA fashion at the time. However, as time passed and update after update was added, the game became exactly what was promised. Arbitrarious pay-to-win loot box schemes were removed, allowing all users to be on a level playing field if they had paid extra or not. For example, a fully upgraded Darth Vader was immensely strong if you had the cash to back it up, starting at a staggering 1050 health, and the ability to heal off eliminating other players allowed high paid users to run rampage with 30 to 60 kill streaks. But with a change to the progression system allows players to instantly be on the level playing field, where not having your star cards upgraded doesn't always mean you're on a huge disadvantage. Does it give others a slight advantage? Yes, but it also means that they've been playing the game for quite a while, so it encourages you to play more, learn the heroes and gameplay to a point that these upgrades seem more like bonuses rather than a necessity. But even after all those paid mechanics were fixed, it was also for developers showing they really cared for the game's progression, aggressively putting out polls, questions and responding to users' feedback on Star Wars Battlefront's subreddit and content creators covering the game. And the number one point is the community. This one might seem a bit more of an overview, but if there's one thing that Battlefront 2 has still to this day, is that it's the biggest, most up-to-date community in comparison to any other Star Wars game out there. With over 300,000 subscribers to its subreddit and a plethora of content creators solely focused on Battlefront 2, it is without a doubt one of the most active communities as well. Don't get me wrong, I know there is a strong following for other games such as the Old Republic and Empire at War, and even though the official developers might be wrapping up updates on Battlefront 2 for now, it is clear there is still an overwhelming passion for the game and a clear demand for it. With a 25,000 signed petition for the game's development to continue, and another small patch coming for balancing issues before the game's support is officially dropped, it definitely shows the community also has a voice on how Battlefront 2 is managed. And that concludes our list. What did you think of it? Most importantly, if you're a potential new player, does it make you want to pick up the game despite its final update? We'd love to hear your feedback, especially if there's something we've missed. And before you click off, definitely answer our question of the day, which is, what is your favourite game mode in Battlefront 2 and why? Other than that, if you like videos like these, definitely hit that like button so we know to make more in the future. I have been Charlie, you've been watching X2, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.